everyone. Hello to all the subscribers, and if you are new, welcome on board to Wendy's Pet Salon. I am Wendy and this is my little home salon at home. I don't know how that comes out, but there we go. Anyway, I was going to show you the lovely Yorkie head this morning, but unfortunately we're having to reschedule because one of the little Yorkies has got an eye infection. She messaged me early this morning, so I'll just pop a picture on there that she sent me. If you don't want to see it, look away now. Yeah, so she didn't get my message and pulled up this morning, and I said, don't worry, we'll reschedule. It can't be helped. So we'll obviously find out how that's getting on. She's gone straight to the vet this morning, and hopefully the vet will tend to his eye and he'll be absolutely fine. So my last video, I said I would like you to decide what videos that we do this week. And obviously one of those videos was the Yorkie, so when they do eventually come back, we'll do a little Yorkie head. I do have a few Yorkies that I do that we can do a nice face, because Yorkies come in all different shapes and sizes. So what they do here in the UK, it's not the typical one that you might see at Crofts, like that one there. You know, they're all different shapes and sizes. Some have got really long legs and they're more of a pet size Yorkie. I would call them a pet size, a bit more practical and robust than the little tiny ones that we see. So one of the other two topics that the subscribers chose, one was on skin and flaky skin and things like that, and the other one was on feet. So that will be a very interesting topic. We can just do feet as a whole. So there's sort of lots of things that I can add for that. So I've chose to do skin this morning because it's something that I notice quite a lot of, and I know a lot of my customers suffer with certain things. And obviously as I'm just a dog groomer, you know, pet groomer, I can't diagnose the reason for your flaky skin. I would always advise you to go to the vets and they will diagnose what problem, you know, what's causing your dry skin. So that's what we would do firstly. If I noticed any flaky skin or any soreness or anything like that, I'll tell the owner, and they would take them to the vets and get that diagnosed, and whether it's given medication or a topical shampoo or cream or whatever. I quite welcome anybody that's been prescribed a regular shampoo. Obviously with the shampoos, they really need to be used as directed, so they're not really going to be beneficial for me to just use once every sort of 5 weeks. They have to be they have to be washed as per the instructions. So if it says once a day for 7 days, you have to wash your dog for once a day for 7 days. And then obviously I can use it, you know, if the vet said then, you know, you've done the instructions, but when you go to your groomers, ask them to use that shampoo. I use a lot of the time I'm given the Malaseb shampoo for different things. Now the Malaseb, it's not just used on its own. If you read the instructions, I always use a hypoallergenic plain no perfume shampoo first to remove any dirt and oils and things in their skin, and then I wash them, you know, concentrating in the areas where the sauna, the flakiness, whatever it is that's, you know, concentrate on the areas that it's been given for, and then I will leave that sort of as instructed, generally about 10 minutes. I leave them to sit in that so that you can soak into the skin, and then I rinse away. So, you know, I quite welcome any, you know, shampoos that the vets have given. I'm quite happy to use those per the instructions. What can cause these skin flakiness? It can be due to a lot of different factors, you know, the environment, grass, pollen, fleas, you know, fleas, parasites, food allergies as well. The most common ones being chicken, beef and dairy. Your pet's been ill and it's been on medication sometimes. That can cause a bit of skin irritation, dermatitis, and all these different types of dermatitis and different like mange and things like that. Cushing's and hypothyroidism, I do know that can dry out the skin. But like I say, the vets are the ones that will pinpoint the reason for your dog's skin issue. So alongside that, I've always given my dog, you know, if my little Shih Tzu who suffers with itchy skin, I obviously make sure that I cut out all chicken and beef and things like that, but I do sometimes give him a supplement over his food that helps. I used to use the Herbal Dog Company, and it was a powder, itchy dog powder that I put over his food, and that used to help him. And I always find that keeping his hair short as well helps him. He doesn't do well with overheating and things like that. It's nice and warm inside, so I keep him nice and short. He's getting older in years now, so you know, and regular grooming you know, will also help it sort of take out the, you know, oil and dirt build up, and just generally stimulate the skin. You know, you're removing dead coat, which helps to reduce inflammation and irritation. So you can bath too much, and you don't want to bath too much because you do strip the natural oils out of their coat, which they do need. I tend to, as a professional groomer, I use really good shampoos that don't strip the oils, but if it's a particular harsh deep cleaning shampoo, which is it's sort of a stripper, as I call it, I always then put the conditioner back in. So what I've took out, I want to be putting back in. So I always used, you know, hypoallergenic shampoo as well. And like I say, what I strip out, I put back in, so that the skin is nicely hydrated. So parasites, they are horrible, but they can actually cause allergies to your pet's skin as well. So that itch and scratch and make sore patches, and obviously you need to keep up with your regular treatments to avoid that. I'm thinking about dry skin in my salon environment when I'm presented with a dog that's got dry skin. Obviously I would advise the pet owner what I've seen. I can't diagnose it, but I can advise what I've noticed, what I've seen. If I've then been given shampoo, I can use the shampoo as directed. Like for instance, Malaseb, that I use on quite a few dogs that come through the salon. I always use a hypoallergenic, non-perfume, no dyes, no nothing shampoo first, and then I put the shampoo on and I leave it for a good 10 minutes and then I rinse it off. But like I said before, if you've been given shampoo, you need to use it as prescribed. So if it says once a day for 7 days, that's what you need to do. There's no point bringing it to me, like I said, for me to use every 5 weeks. There's things, obviously, if I notice it, generally I notice sort of straight away. I can sort of tell by visually looking at the dog, so whether it looks a bit dull and a bit flaky, so then I'll decide from then. I'll discuss with the owner, and I will, obviously, I always say that I use you know, a mild shampoo, and obviously if they said they've been itching, I always check for fleas and things before I do any of the animals. I do check, and unfortunately I don't groom animals with fleas because I've got other people's dogs coming in through the salon, and I don't want to infest my salon. It costs me a fortune. The sprays that I use in here, they're not cheap, and I do sort of do a thorough clean to make sure that, you know, I'm sort of protected from fleas in here. So I don't want to then bring an animal in here that I'm going to bath and blast and, you know, possibly blast all their fleas around. Unfortunately, they will go home, and I say get them treated and then bring them back. Just to be fair to other people and to my shop that I've paid a lot of money for, I don't want it infested with fleas. So I just hate, I just don't like fleas at all. I don't. So obviously that I had to discuss all that. I make sure that I use fragrance-free, hypoallergenic type of shampoos. Some dogs can tolerate, you know, a mild perfume ones, which I use a regular sort of shampoo. I tend to know which shampoo that I've used, what I'm using on what dog, and I know that if I stick to a sort of a mild, good cleansing hypoallergenic shampoo, then I'm not going to irritate the dog, even if I haven't seen what's on the dog's skin. If I continually use that type of shampoo, then I'm not going to get the irritants that I would do on the highly perfumed ones. So obviously I'm going to see the dog and then take it from there. So I'll do the nice mild shampoo, and I also will discuss with the owner what I could probably use immediately if they've got to go to the vet, what I could use. So obviously if I found something during my grooming, I'll say that I've used my nice Lucillin, which I will explain, because it's a very fast acting formula, and it soothes and it calms, and it can be used long term as well, depending on what your dog, the reason for your dog's skin problem. So I will talk over a little bit about the Lucillin and what it does, because I know a lot of I do sell it as well, so I know a lot of my customers do use it, and it's another one of those things that, you know, not just one spray isn't really going to do it. You have to use it sort of 3 times a day for it to be, you know, effective, really, to do what it does. So there we go. So we've talked, basically number one thing is getting it diagnosed by a vet. The reason, we've talked over the reasons, whether it be allergies, illness, all that type of thing. We need to sort of hit that on the head. Is it, you know, food allergies? Think about what's going in, and all that type of thing. And then it is like a needle in a haystack. It's trying to find out, you know, those things. And if you eliminate certain things, you can generally find in the end what the reason is. Sorry for the again. I'm just going to have a quick drink, and then I'm going to talk to you about the Lucillin and how it helps me immediately. So I know that once I've established that the dog's got sort of some kind of issue, which I'll talk about, what I can use immediately to sort of help soothe while I'm doing what I'm doing, while I'm grooming. And I'll see you in a sec. So I'm going to continue to talk about the skin today. I've just had my cup of tea, and I was going to tell you about the Lucillin. And if I seem like I'm a little bit sad, I just had a really sad text about a customer that's just passed away. Lovely Oscar, who I'll put a picture of there, who I've been doing for many years, and he sadly gave up his fight yesterday, so that's really sad. So another really sad part of our job was we get so attached to the pets that we see, and obviously because I've seen Oscar for such a long time, obviously I've watched him get older and seen his lumps and bumps and his skin conditions along the way, and but his mum and dad have looked after him really well, and they've done everything that they could possibly do for him. Can't even tell you, you know, and we wish them well, and very sorry for their loss, and you know, they'll always stay in my book. You know, if one day they decide to get another dog, they're very welcome to come back, because I consider them a very you know, loyal customer, and you know, they'll stay on my book forevermore. And obviously all these little dogs that we see that pass away, they always stay with me, and you know, I often think about a lot of the dogs. They always pop into my head, and you know, it's just really sad. It's really sad. But obviously, you know, we don't want them to be in any pain either. So, and his mum said that he was more than ready. So, yeah, so that's really sad. But I did, however, I have used the Lucillin on Oscar a few times on his skin. So I want to tell you about this Lucillin spray, and how I use it in the salon. I have sold it in my salon when I had it in town there, and I also have a little display of it here that I have all the different sizes, the big ones right down to the dropper sized ones, and it's a brilliant thing to have in. And I've also used it on myself when I've had a scratch. I've given my hand a bit of a spray. You know, it's great for all sorts of things. I will say that it is approved by the Organic Soil Association. It's 100% biodegradable, cruelty-free, vegan, friendly, and it uses recyclable packaging. So what is Lucillin great for? Well, it's great for irritated, inflamed or broken skin. It soothes and calms. In mimicking the body's immune system, Lucillin has the effect of calming the autoimmune response, cleanses the tissue, which enables the body to focus its renewal energies on recovery rather than pathogen defence, which rapidly reduces recovery times. Lucillin is pH neutral, non-toxic, it will not sting, it's 100% safe on ears and eyes, ideal for sensitive skin. So to apply the Lucillin, you can spray directly onto the area, or for more sensitive areas, you could spray it onto some cotton wool or cotton wool pad and then apply that way. and then just let the Lucillin dry naturally. So to find out some great information about Lucillin, a little bit more in depth, if you go to www.lucillin.co.uk, you can read all about it. So, like I say, if you check out the website, there's lots and lots of information. It'll give you a bit more of an in-depth look at what actually Lucillin does. But I do find it safe to use in my environment, and I'll tell you some of the places that I might use it as a dog groomer. So say if you've got a French bulldog, all that type of breed with lots of creases, it's really good for cleaning out the creases there, because like I say, it works with it helps with sort of the cheesy odours as well. Because of what it does, it really cleanses that area. So when I've sort of cleansed it, washed the area, then I wipe over with the Lucillin. And I know a lot of those breeds don't like the water sometimes over their faces. They kind of panic a little bit. If you just if you're not able to wash their face, so you could do it manually, so wipe out their face manually without putting lots of water over the face, and then use the Lucillin on some cotton wool. It's good for that. And obviously flaky skin, because you can use it alongside everything else that the dog might be on. It doesn't have any sort of effects where you can't use it alongside. That's fine. But you just got to, everything that you've used previously has got to be dried and settled before you can use the Lucillin. That's the only thing I would suggest. So you can use it on creases. Say for instance, the owner hasn't informed me of any flakiness, but I've discovered it. Because I know it's 100% safe, what I can do is, obviously when the owner comes, I'll make them aware, but like I say, you can just liberally put it on. So once I sometimes use it, say I've given them a good blast, and so it's sort of partish dry. I give it a good spray through where the area is, and then I continue drying. That's something that I have done before. I've used it on cats when I've come through like little areas of matting. So say I've clipped off small areas of matting, and because the mat has been preventing the skin from breathing, and there's lots of sort of flaky skin on there, I give it a bit of a spray just to soothe the area. Then I tell the customer, that I've put that on, and obviously it's available if they want to get it as well. I might have found underneath there might be sort of some kind of a rashy area, so to help soothe the skin. Obviously I don't want to make the grooming, I don't want to irritate the skin any further, if I found that type of thing. So I always find that I give it a little bit of a spray. It will help soothe it, and then obviously I will tell the customer again that that there is an area that they need to have a look. I've just put my Lucillin spray on for now, which is it doesn't sting, and it'll just help soothe it for now until you can take them to the vets. That is basically how I would use it. So even if I seen sore ears in my grooming, obviously I'm not going to spray it directly down an ear hole, because I don't know, they maybe have not told me that they're on some kind of medication. But like I say, you can use it with other products. It's not going to cause any problems with that. But I might just put a little bit on a cotton pad and just give it a wipe, just to give it a soothe, a little bit of a soothe, that type of thing. Feet, sometimes, you know, say there's been a mat inside a dog's foot that's been very tight, and it's caused the skin to be a little bit sore underneath. When I've been clipping out the pads, I put some Lucillin on. I very rarely get any kind of shaving rash on my dogs, but you can use it on shaving rash. You know, if you've had a particularly matted dog that you've had to clip off, you can give that a nice spray just while you're waiting. If you clipped it off and while you're waiting to go in the bath, you could give it a little bit of a spray over just to soothe the skin. Then you can use your bath and use your hypoallergenic shampoo. Obviously, you know, avoid any kind of fragrance and things like that. You know, if you've got if you've had to clip a dog off that's very sensitive now because you've clipped it off, I wouldn't advise to put any perfume on it whatsoever, because you could irritate the skin. So, you know, you've had to clip it off, give it a spray, and then you're going to go and bath it. So we give it a nice hypoallergenic bath, and then when you've blasted it off a little bit, give it another spray, and then do your drying it as normal. It just helps soothe the skin, and I always tell the customer that is what I've used. You know, because it's fast acting, and the last thing that we want to do is cause a secondary infection. So although sometimes you can explain to your customers that you've got to take it short for whatever reason, mainly because it's matted, what may happen is that you've shaved it off, which has irritated the skin, and it will cause them to scratch. And then obviously then you know their nails could possibly break skin, and then they'll get an infection in that skin. So to avoid them sort of scratching and things like that, Lucillin's great to spray on those type of areas, but you must fill in your your shaving and your clip off forms, which will explain that, you know, when you are clipping off matted dogs, you know, this is the kind of thing that might happen, because it's not something that you've done. It's basically because the skin can't breathe, and then all of a sudden it can breathe. You know, it can go, you know, flaky, itchy, and then they can scratch and cause secondary. So it's fantastic for that type of thing. I have used it on cats, where I've took out little areas, and I think I've actually said it on one of my cat videos before. I had to take a small patch out, and a couple of times I sprayed the Lucillin, and it really helped the skin. Obviously it isn't a one-time spray. Like I say, you've got to use it about, you know, if you're using it at home and you've got, you know, a skin issue, you know, use it good 3 times a day, you know, and spray it on. Lucy here's not loving life, are you? Don't really want to be here, sweetie, do you? I'd like to tell you Lucy's little story at one time, won't we? But she's got cheesy eyes at the moment, haven't you? You've got cheesy eyes. A lot of these brachycephalic dogs that have got short little tubes here tends to build up a lot of dust and dirt and things like that, and they can get sort of eye problems. Their eyes are quite bulbous, and they're quite prone to sort of eye ulcers and things like that. So, you know, all the reason why, you know, it's really good to have, you know, a good regular groom to keep their eyes clear and clean. And like I say, you can use this on eyes. I'm not going to use it on Lucy today, but, you know, a mum does have some Opticare eye wipes off me, which she uses to cleanse her eyes. So, and they have got a little bit better, but it's got like a little bit of a cheesy smell. A bit cheesy. Got cheesy eyes today, haven't you? Yeah, so it's very good for, you know, for flaky skin that you've noticed. You know, if you like me, you notice sort of all sorts of things. And yeah, I mean, they get sort of flake. They can get like flaky feet, flaky skin. They can get like yeasty feet, things like that. You know, use the spray. The spray is very good for yeast, fungi, that type of thing. So yeah. So quickly, it will soothe and it calms, and it's great for, you know, for allergy sufferers. You know, with them scratching, you can give them a spray and it helps them. Any reddening, inflammation that you see, you can use it alongside any other medication that they're using. Ideally, you want to clean off anything, any oily residue, any build-up of anything first before you spray it on, and you know, allow it to, you know, to dry naturally. It kills, they say, 99.999999 bacteria, funguses, viruses, spores, on contact, including the MRSA, E. coli, SARS-CoV-2, I believe, and it's gentle. It's a very gentle spray. It does not sting. You can use it on all sorts of animals: birds, horses, reptiles, dogs, cats, kittens, puppies, and it's made in the UK. So what more can you ask for? But it's a very good help to me here. I have it all the time. I have it here all the time. It's very handy, and it's generally my go-to spray that I use. This is a little handbag size, which is great for those who carry bags with them. You can just pop that in your bag, and then they do a larger size. This is a UV. If you see the bottle is purple, it is UV sensitive, so that's why it's kept in this bottle, so it can't be transferred to any clear bottle or anything. And also they changed the top on these because apparently the metal inside was reacting with the product that was inside, so you know, it is even more effective now because it's got a special pump that's thing. I think it's got an 18-month shelf life as well, which is even better. So yeah, so it's a good antiseptic skincare to have, you know, as a dog groomer for all sorts of things. So I hope that helps you. And if you would like me to talk some more about skin and things like that, I can do when it crops up when I'm grooming. I will always sort of mention when I've used it. If I've seen something, I generally say that I've used that. So yes, it is definitely my go-to spray. So also, if you want to know a bit more about, because I mean, I'm not that, what's the word? I'm not that academic, and I don't remember like too much. I don't retain too much information. It sort of comes to me when I talk, if you know what I mean. But there are a couple of people that I can put in the description that are very, very good at breaking down, you know, the skin and hair and things like that. And there's two ladies that I know are very well respected in our industry. One is Julie Harris, and I'll put her details in the description, and she does lots of courses, and what I love about them is that the video and audio is there for me to watch and listen to, so you can watch and listen while you're working. Fantastic, affordable things that you can listen to, and really gets to sort of know a little bit more about you know, the hair growth, the skin, and all that type of thing. And also Sophie Bell, who I know has been very poorly just recently, so I hope she is getting better soon. But she's got one, Animal Love Animals. I've said this before, I'll put her on the picture there. She is a vet, she's also a groomer, or she has been a groomer, but she's a vet. She's wonderful, she explains things very well. I've done a first aid course with her, she's fantastic. She also does audio and visual things, which, if you're like me, you take it in and sort of, you can soak it up better rather than reading, because when I'm reading, I just read and then I end up reading the same thing over and over and over again. I am doing a cat grooming thing that I'm waiting for the audio on them before I can continue on it, because it just doesn't connect with me, it doesn't register. So I'll put those two ladies in my description, because you want to know in depth about certain things, they are definitely the ones. But obviously when I'm grooming and I come across things, you know, I will let you know in my videos what I've used. So I hope that's kind of touched on the skin and what I would do and what I would use. But I always try and put a common sense approach to it. And, you know, if in doubt, if it's something really bad, you need to obviously, you know, when the dog comes in, firstly, always ask, you know, how they've been, anything changes, things that you should be aware of. Instead of taking the dog and then finding stuff and then having to ring and relay to them. Doesn't always happen that way. You can be well informed and still find things. But having that good relationship with your customers, you know, you're able to then, you know, conversate and work on things. So yeah, I'm just wittering now, aren't I? So we're going to get Lucy in the bath, aren't we? We're going to get Lucy in the bath. I like to give her just, you know, a few minutes before I start anyway, because she gets a bit stressed with it all. Bathing and grooming is not her favourite thing, is it, sweetie? But like with her, she gets very sensitive skin. You know, the facials that I use are always tearless facials that I use. I don't really use the dog shampoo on the head. It's just a Pacific tear-free shampoo that I use. And then I use, you know, relevant to her coat type and the condition of her hair and the skin. You know, I want to fluff her up and give her a nice sort of teddy style trim, but because she's sensitive, I'm going to use hypoallergenic shampoo and make sure she's, you know, it's lifted but it's hydrated. And yeah, keep on with the regular grooming, because that obviously always helps promote, you know, your pet's well-being. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was a little bit informative. And let me know your thoughts. So if I've missed anything out, please tell me. And I'll add all the other bits and pieces in the description. And if you don't know where the description is, it's where it says more. So if you click more, it'll bring down a box and I'll add all these, you know, things, information, websites, things inside there. So if you could give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, because the more likes and shares that we get, the more that our videos will be seen and the bigger our channel will grow. And it's not just my channel, it's our channel. And what I really want to do is promote the, the pets' well-being through regular grooming, and hopefully there'll be more happy groomers out there like me, because all their dogs are coming on a regular basis, and everybody's a winner, aren't they, sweetie? They are. They are. So, and also, it might be possible, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I think the further on that I get with the channel, I can actually probably sell these products. So the Lucillin, and I could probably, post it out. So, the bigger the channel gets, the more that I can help sort of give you those avenues to get these things. So that would be fine, because I'm a stockist of Lucillin, so that wouldn't be a problem. And maybe we'll design our own t-shirt or something like that, saying that, I go every 5 weeks. What do you reckon? Or something like that. Show love to your pet and go on a regular basis. It's food for thought. See you very soon. Are you ready? Are you ready for your things? He's a good boy. He is.